Thanksgiving became a billion-dollar online shopping day for the first time this year as more consumers use tablets to browse for deals. So why did stores still decide to open, especially with the protests? Walmart can give you 10 million reasons why. Let's take a look.
A nice 150-year-old American tradition celebrated on the last Thursday of November. But not anymore, because it's now turned into this. Instead of cutting roasted turkey, tents were in place outside of retail stores for huge Black Friday deals.
To me, it's just trying to get the bargains that you couldn't get throughout the whole year.
What used to be called Black Friday is now Great Thursday, as stores like Kmart, Toys R Us, Best Buy, and Macy's are all opening up a day early. And retailers say they're offering pretty sweet deals for consumers.
Bottom line is it's the fourth quarter. We do about half to 3/4 of our yearly business in the last 5 weeks right before Christmas.
The biggest doorbusters include this LG 55-inch HD TV for $499, 50% off of all toys at Kohl's, saving more than 80% off at Macy's, and this 32-inch LCD TV for $98 at Walmart.
I'm 52 years old and I can't afford my own apartment on what I make at Walmart.
But not everyone is excited about the doorbusters.
Management bullies us and causes unnecessary stress.
Employees and labor unions are protesting against working on the busiest shopping day of the year. Many don't want to leave their family gatherings early to go to work. But the hottest deals are attracting more consumers this year. The National Retail Federation expects 140 million people to shop, with 33 million people to hit the stores on Thanksgiving Day.
Jackie Guzda and Dr. Bart Rossi continue these discussions. And all right, let's find out. Did anybody go shopping?
I did.
You went shopping?
I did.
Okay. On Thursday night or on Black Friday?
Thursday night, of course. I mean, Macy's, it was a historic day, so I had to go. I had to work. Look, I worked on Thanksgiving, so I'm like, well, I'm just going to run down to Macy's. It was fun. And people were already lined up.
Well, yeah, you had the big Thanksgiving Day parade, so for them it probably was a good idea. Was it crowded?
Very.
Well, they
everybody's having a good time, and I think it's a good thing. Let's let the games begin. I mean, people really find this as sort of a fun, festive, and a lot of times it's become a family tradition. I've got friends that they do it every single year.
Well, this was the first year, of course, that they opened up so early. They opened up at 6 o'clock, a lot of the stores did. But it also took away from Black Friday, and a lot of people said that the stores weren't as crazy on Black Friday. But I still say, I got to talk to Dr. Bart about this one. Dr. Bart, what type of person is going to go in there and fight those crowds? I mean, I know there's something to a deal, but psychologically, like what kind of a person wants to go fight that crowd?
Somebody that has a lot of anxiety, maybe a lot of hostility.
No.
Somebody's boiling over. Not Dee Dee, of course. Not Dee Dee, of course. But,
oh yeah, I don't have any of that.
But I don't know. I just think Thanksgiving should be off for everybody. I mean, I don't think Lincoln would be happy seeing this. I think he would.
And Mary would be.
Maybe. Maybe. I just think that there's a time when we all should just be off. And that Thanksgiving would be that day. That's just my point of view.
Well, we'll take the other side, whatever we'll take the business side of this right now. They did say that they are having something like 10 million sales 10 million transactions, that is, between 6 and 10 p.m. So from an economic standpoint for Walmart and many of the other stores, this is certainly very good news and certainly ushers in the holiday season for the big retailers. So is that good to help them with their business?
Well, obviously that's good. I mean, the economy is a bit in the tank right now, and it'll bring it up. And I'm going to take a libertarian point of view on this. I think if people want to work, they should work. If the companies want to give them time and a half, I think they should give them time and a half. It's a holiday. People want to stay home from work that day, let them stay home.
And Dr. Bart?
No, I think it should be an off day. But what bothers me about this, though, when it comes to the Walmart issue, is that the wages seem like most of the people are under $29,000 a year. And we have a situation in this country where folks on the right don't really like food stamps, but these people are working and qualifying for food stamps.
Right.
And so how do you have a nation be successful without some of these programs when people are making less than $29,000 and they're working? See, so I see a conflict here between the GOP in particular and why they're opposed to programs that help people stay on the job and be productive. And then, by the way, they're also in the 47% because they don't make enough money, so they don't really count. I don't get that.
What about the argument that the CEO of Walmart was making the rounds on TV, the early morning talk shows, basically saying, well, we have to go to work because we need to make more money so we can pay higher wages. What about that PR strategy?
He hired a PR agency to do a big blitz just before this holiday weekend. Walmart is very stingy. It's the richest family in the world. There are 6 heirs that get all that money finally.
And their sales are $17 billion a year, so we'll throw that number out.
Exactly. Has to work there. If you don't work there, you don't have to, or you get a second job. I mean, that's like
a second job.
That's not their problem. It's not your problem.
No. They are not paying their people a living wage. Do you know what?
That is
May I
for
finish?
Walmart to do. They're a business.
All right, fine.
They're a business to make
do you know
money.
what they're asking for? Do you know what the workers of Walmart are asking for? They're asking for $25,000 a year. That is poverty level.
For a Walmart greeter? They don't even do anything. I mean, I'm sorry, but
did you see? You saw that tape of all those crazy people?
Yeah,
I wouldn't work there for $50,000.
Well,
that's your prerogative.
But the
you
thing
don't have to.
the thing about Walmart is that it does affect all of us, though. It affects all of us because the wages are low enough that these folks actually get food stamps, and we pay for those food stamps because they're
work
not.
a second job, or work harder, or work to move up in a position. I'm sorry, but
a lot of these people are working.
That's a terrible philosophy.
It's a terrible philosophy to not pay your full-time workers a living wage.
Then don't work there if you don't think you're getting paid enough. That's not for Walmart.
Well, we do have a minimum wage here
money.
in this country, and I guess that goes to the next question: should the minimum wage be raised? Because that is voted on.
Most people think so. About 70 or 80%, I was reading a poll recently, think that the minimum wage should go up because actually wages going higher helps the whole economy because those people
business. But one of the arguments is that a lot of the small business owners, not the Walmarts, not the Kmart's, and not the biggies, but the small business owners.
Let
me finish. The mom and pop shops down on Main Street, they can't necessarily afford that.
That's right,
and that's one of the problems.
I understand that, but what I'm saying is that the psychology of that doesn't really work out that way.
That's right.
Because small businesses, a lot of owners will tell you that if I can pay my people a little bit more money, those folks are more productive, and maybe they'll even buy stuff in my shop or in my restaurant or in my business. So the actual result of this is that higher wages helps the small business. I think your point is
no,
good.
he's right.
Absolutely not.
If your worker is happy,
need to be able to survive. I mean,
and they can survive, and I'll tell you why. Because their workers are happy. There will be better retention. They will do a better job. If you look at the bigger companies, like the Container Store, for instance, they start their people at about $15 an hour. Now compare that to the paltry wages that you get.
Stores, though, Jack.
That's right, but I'm comparing it to a big corporation like Walmart. They have better retention.
We're talking about small businesses, though, to what Mia said. I have a family, they own a pizzeria. There's no way they could afford to pay that for
Well, as you said, let them get a second job.
That's right.
Let them work somewhere else. You are relatives.
No.
That's your answer.
I agree.
Before.
I agree. Let them get a second job. But don't put the small business out of business. That's what you're saying. It's not for you to say.
Do you know how Henry Ford was successful?
Yes, I do.
Yes, tell us, please.
A good product.
No. He said that he had to pay his workers on the assembly line enough money so they could go out there and buy the cars that they were making.
Oh, now it's the unions, which is putting everybody out of business.
What we're saying is that it worked. We're saying that's an
economic
model.
Have you seen Detroit lately?
Have you seen
Detroit lately?
But not when he was alive. Detroit, we tried to keep Detroit alive
ancient history.
because it was so integral to the healthy economy of the United States.
But Walmart isn't Walmart's the face of all this. Walmart's not the only store that's paying low wages. I mean, we have to, or paying a minimum wage.
Sure.
So it's not just so they're getting lambasted through this whole.
They are getting lambasted, but I think that there's some misconceptions out there, and I think that the notion that wages have to be kept low so that people.
Small businesses, though.
Yeah, but there's a point at which they're too low.
There are different levels of.
That's
You're
true.
going to put them out of business. That's what my point was with the small business. They cannot afford to pay these wages. They just can't do it.
It causes them more problems with their employees.
No, they don't. You don't have a small business. My
does.
family does. I mean, they get it. There's no way they could pay that, Jack.
Part of my family has a small business.
Well, they cannot. They would go out of business if they did that, or they could.
There is an argument.
always the
hang on.
case. You're
Yes.
generalizing.
But there's been a lot of discussions about like the main streets, and that's why they created small towns,
Right.
small
Small business Saturdays.
Thank you. Small
Yeah.
Business Saturdays
Today.
to go compete with Black Friday and Cyber Monday and all the different shopping days. But a lot of the small retailers that I have spoken to right here in this downtown area, that they have said to me when I've interviewed them that they can't afford because the economy's been so
They just
bad.
can't.
So they agree that they would like to pay some higher wages. But how high? We've seen so many of the folks on Occupy Wall Street say, well, we want $20 an hour, 15, and they're doubling it. So I think that it raises a question that what would be a fair wage, a way to raise the minimum wage to a point where a Walmart worker does make a reasonable salary.
They're asking for $25,000 a year. That would be an uptick in what they get right now. They deserve more than that. You need to be able to work and put food on your table and a roof over your head.
Yeah, I think this is an argument about extremes, and Walmart has salaries that are too low. And when salaries
Well, some
are,
may argue that their CEOs have too high salaries.
I ran
Part of it, too.
my company had 70 employees, and I always wanted to give them more, actually, because the more I could give them, the more productive I would
why
think they
didn't
would.
you?
I did. Over time, I tried to increase rates as best as I could. And I think that's the way you have to look at it. But you're right, there has to be a limit. There's a balance here. And I think what you're seeing with Walmart is that it's too low. And that actually hurts the economy. It hurts all of us because some of these folks go on food stamps. And if they were making more money, they'd probably buy
But it's
more.
not your company. It's not for you to decide. It's for Walmart to decide.
Well, we're talking about it.
Well, I'm just saying, it's not for you to decide. It's their
It's for the
business.
workers too, and there were protests after protests at the Walmart from the employees and the people
Then
who
move on, work
supported
somewhere
them.
else.
But easier said than done, my
Well,
dear.
I'm just saying that it's not for any of us to tell a business what to
On
do.
a
and what to pay
moral
their workers.
standpoint,
It's not a
is,
moral-
because
well,
they're wrong.
Well,
No, they're not.
everybody does have freedoms in this country that we
Yeah.
enjoy, so let's take it there. Let's talk about what you did. You did not go shopping. You did go shopping. Do you think that this is a good sign? Do you think that there's a little more optimism in the air right now because there are so many people out there and that the retailers are reporting some of the best sales ever? That's certainly good news for the economy moving forward.
I kind of think so.
I
it seems
think
like
so.
we're
I
sort
think
of moving
I
forward.
think the economy is gradually moving forward, and I think there are a lot of reasons for that. I happen to think that this administration deserves some
Oh,
credit.
no, not
and
that.
I think that it's gradually going in the right direction, and I think in the next few years it's actually going to be even more positive. I'm taking a very positive outlook here as we go forward in the next few years. Next
Me
2 or 3
too.
years.
I completely mirror your sentiments. And when you come to accept this, I'll take you out for a drink. I'm paying.
It's okay. Not going to happen. Sorry.
Well, I do think that there's a certain optimism in the air, just because. I mean, when I see thousands of people storming into stores to go spend money, I do think that creates some optimism. So other fun little optimistic note. Of course, we had the pardoning of the turkey by President Obama. I'm sure we all saw this, and once again he was doing that. There's the Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade. I think they said something like, how many people were actually marching in that? I turned it on in the morning, and it was still going on 7 hours
It was
later.
so cold. It was so cold.
Oh,
I
I
feel so
couldn't
bad
believe
about
that.
Yeah.
But certainly a lot of fun, and there was so much worry that they weren't going to be able to fly the balloons. But it was certainly a great time had by all, a wonderful tradition. Have you ever been down there and actually watched it?
It's crazy.
Yeah,
Did you go-
definitely.
Yeah.
I can say I went once. I don't know. There's the footage of the yearly presidential pardoning of the turkey. There he goes, and I think that's one of my favorite little annual traditions at the White House when you see that.
You like that one?
I do
You
like that
you
one.
that?
You know.
Okay.
All right. Well, we just wanted to leave you with some fun little holiday pictures there. So don't go away, everyone. The lightning round is next. We'll be right back with much more.